Hello, my friends, and good day. Today, I have a haunting American tale of a family who mysteriously lost everything. It all started on Christmas Eve, 1945, in the small town of Fayetteville, West Virginia. The Sodder family, George, Jenny, and their 9 children, prepared to celebrate the holidays. The tree glowed with ornaments, and the house was filled with laughter. But by morning, joy turned to unimaginable tragedy. Their home lay in ashes. 5 of their children were gone. And what followed would become one of the greatest mysteries in American history. Were the Sodder children truly lost to the fire? Or did something far more sinister happen that fateful night? Fayetteville was a quiet coal mining town nestled in the Appalachian Hills. George Sodder was a successful businessman, well respected in the community, though he held strong and controversial opinions about politics, particularly his disdain for Italian dictator Benito Mussolini, which did not sit well with everyone in the largely Italian-American community. On that chilly Christmas Eve, the Sodder family gathered for the holiday. After opening some presents, the younger children begged their mother for permission to stay up late. Jenny agreed, as long as they remembered to lock up and turn off the lights before going to bed. She and George went to bed first, their youngest child already asleep in her crib. Around 1 a.m., Jenny was jolted awake by the sound of something hitting the roof. A loud thudding noise followed by a rolling sound. Moments later, she smelled smoke. Rushing to wake her husband, Jenny found flames consuming George's office near the front of the house. George and Jenny frantically gathered the children they could reach: Sylvia, Marion, John, and George Jr. They screamed for the others: Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty, but there was no response. The staircase to the upper floor was already engulfed in flames. Desperate, George broke a window, slicing his arm, and tried to re-enter the house, but the heat was too intense. The family's ladder, which was always kept propped against the house, was inexplicably missing. George attempted to use his work truck to reach the upstairs windows, but neither vehicle would start, despite having worked perfectly the day before. Neighbors called the fire department, but due to a series of miscommunications and a shortage of manpower, firefighters did not arrive until nearly 8 a.m. Far too late. The Sodder home had been reduced to smoldering rubble. Authorities quickly concluded that the 5 missing children had perished in the fire, their bodies completely incinerated. But the Sodders weren't convinced. For one, the fire had not burned long enough or hot enough to completely destroy human remains. Even appliances in the rubble were still recognizable. Jenny conducted her own experiments, burning animal bones to see if they would be reduced to ash. They never were. Additional clues fueled the Sodders' doubts. A telephone repairman revealed that their phone line had not been damaged by the fire, but had been deliberately cut. This discovery contradicted the initial assumption that the line had burned in the blaze. Even more puzzling was the family's ladder, which was usually stored in a specific spot against the house. It was later found at the bottom of an embankment, some distance from the home. How it ended up there remained a mystery. Jenny's recollection of the thudding sound before the fire led to another strange discovery: a small, hard object in the yard. This was later identified as a fragment of a type of incendiary device, possibly a pineapple bomb. although this identification was never officially confirmed. Witnesses came forward with unsettling reports. A passing motorist claimed to have seen a group of people throwing what appeared to be balls of fire onto the Sodder property. Another witness said they saw the missing children in a car speeding away from the house while the fire was still raging. In the days following the fire, sightings of the children were reported as far away as Charleston, West Virginia. One woman claimed to have seen them at a hotel, accompanied by two unfamiliar men and women. According to her account, the entire group acted nervously and appeared to be speaking a foreign language. Despite these clues, local authorities were reluctant to reopen the investigation, maintaining that the children had perished in the fire. The Sodders, however, were convinced otherwise and continued their search for answers. Over the years, numerous theories emerged. Some believed the fire was set deliberately, possibly as an act of revenge for George's outspoken political views. Others speculated that the children had been kidnapped by an underground network with ties to the black market or even organized crime. The most tantalizing theory came in 1968 when Jenny received an anonymous letter postmarked from Kentucky. Inside was a photograph of a young man who bore a striking resemblance to her missing son Louis. On the back were the cryptic words, "Louis Sodder, I love brother Frankie, lil boys, A90132 or 35. The Sodders hired a private investigator, but he vanished without a trace. George and Jenny never gave up searching for their children. They erected a billboard along Route 16, displaying the children's photos and offering a reward for information. It became a landmark, a haunting reminder of the unsolved mystery. George passed away in 1969, followed by Jenny in 1989. They had spent their lives seeking answers, but the fate of their children remained elusive. The surviving Sodder siblings continued the search, but time and fading memories made it increasingly difficult. Today, the disappearance of the Sodder children remains one of the most haunting cold cases in American history. The charred ruins of that Christmas Eve fire hold secrets that may never be revealed. Was it a tragic accident, or did something far more sinister occur? As you ponder the twists and turns of this tale, remember the resilience of a family who refused to let go of hope, and the enduring mystery of 5 children who seemingly vanished into the night. And this concludes today's story. I hope that you enjoyed this mysterious tale. Was it murder, or was it a freak accident? Let me know in the comments, and remember to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss the next unsolved mystery. Until then, stay curious, stay thoughtful, and I'll see you in the next story.